Hello and welcome back. And in this lecture, we are going to add some kind of logging where time is also added. The timestamp is also added because timestamp has a real importance in case of debugging the problems. Suppose your client has mentioned that they have got an issue around midnight, or they have got an issue around uh, you know uh, afternoon, right? At this around this time, like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., right? So all those logs which came and which are there with you, that will be shared by the client between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. or whatever time the client has specified, that will be really useful for you to identify and debug the issue, because that will clearly indicate that what kind of logs are there and what is there in those logs which have been logged between between the time 2 to 3 p.m. or whatever time has been specified, for example. So for that, we must need to add some kind of timestamp as well, which is dynamically generated, that you need to add in your logging. As of now, you can see that I have added the logging, I have added the line in the logging, like from which line this issue has come, right? Similarly, if we add the timestamp as well, like what was the current time when this particular line was executed, then that will be really useful. Okay. And I already told you in the previous video that you cannot use one of the macros, which is known as double underscore time. This is another macro, right? This is timestamp or this time, right? So this is not a correct macro to use, because this will give the timestamp uh, for that time, which is like when your file was compiled, right? So that's why we should not use that particular macro. We should use the function, right? We should use the function which is there for getting the time. So how we can use that function? First of all, you need to include time.h. Okay, then you need to simply create a variable of type time underscore t. But for that, we need to create one function, and that function will be returning the current time. So I'm just going to write like const char asterisk. I'm writing a function which will be returning a character pointer, which will be, basically a pointer to a character array. And what it will return? Give timestamp. Timestamp. Give timestamp. Or you can say like give CUR timestamp. Okay. So what we'll do now, we will simply create time underscore t, and then we can create variable now, or maybe CUR time. That will be useful. And now we can do like call this function time and underscore current time. Okay. And after that, what I can do, I can simply call another function which is known as ctime underscore s, right? There are two functions basically. Ctime is also there. It only takes one argument, which is like whatever time you have got from here. This time, whatever you have got, this will be added here. But the problem is that this is an obsolete one. This has been deprecated. Okay, this may be unsafe, right? So there are two things, like you can use this C time as well, and you can use C time underscore S as well, right? You can see the message here. When I was compiling it, it gave me the error, like this function or variable may be unsafe. Consider using C time underscore S instead, right? To disable deprecation, use CRT secure no warnings. If you add this macro, then this C time will start giving the error. So if I write like something like this, cur time, and if I compile this, then it will be giving me error. If I build it, then it will be giving me an error. It is saying that this may be unsafe. So if we want to use it, we can still use it, but we have to do this thing. We have to just give this thing like CRT secure no warnings. Okay, this I need to add as a macro. So this macro I need to use in the properties. I can come here and then I can go to the C++ and then preprocessors, and Basically, we can add one more preprocessor here. You can see here, no, not here. We have to use it here only, preprocessor. Okay, in general as well, we have the preprocessors not mentioned here. We only have this preprocessor section here. So we can do like CRT. You can give a semicolon, or you can do better. You can do like simply open it, edit, and then you just add. You can simply add underscore CRT underscore. What is the other thing? CRT. What is the CRT secure no warnings? CRT secure no warnings. CRT secure no warnings. I need to just remember it. CRT secure no warnings. So I just come here. CRT secure no warnings. C underscore CRT secure no warnings. If I do this, and now if I apply it, and if I click OK, and now if I try to compile it, then you can see like this error was not returned. Now the error will be like give timestamp must return a value. So just for the time being, return null. Okay, so null has been returned here. So now if you compile it, then it will not give you any error. It will be compiled successfully. So such kind of errors where you can see that these kind of functions are not supported, what you can do, you can simply declare this particular, CRT secure no warnings, this particular preprocessor you can add. Okay, this particular macro you can use, add basically. So my point is that we know that we can do this, but still we have to follow the current, the latest one, right? So we are just going to remove this and we are going to use the latest one. What is happening with the latest? Latest is like C time underscore S you need to provide. Okay. And then you have to just characteristic buffer. You need one buffer, you need buffer size, and then you need this time variable, right? Whatever time variable you have taken. So we are going to create a buffer character. We can write like S time buff. Okay. So, and then what will be the size? It should be 26. Okay. And I'm just declaring it, defining it with null, with empty string. And now we need the size. The max size we can have here, like has define max time len. So I can give it like 26. And now let us see. Here I'm going to give it C time underscore S, and then I need to give like S time buff. Then I need to give like size in bytes. So size in bytes is like 26. And then we have, address of cur time. Okay, now before we return from here, we can simply call this, and simply we can return like S time buff, right? So this will be the value that will be returned basically. So we want to use this give cur timestamp here, char asterisk S is equal to get cur timestamp. What was the function name? Get give cur timestamp. Okay, not get, it was give cur timestamp. So give cur timestamp. Okay. So now it will be giving me the current timestamp. Whenever I will call it, it will simply give me the current timestamp. Okay, and here you need to write like const char asterisk. because it is the time. So let me see what happens inside this. Let me compile it, run it, and let me see what happens. So if I do something like go to the F11, okay, let me see what happens with F11. Come here, we come here, we come here, we come here, and then S buff time. Okay, so you can see September 21, and it's like 13, 12, 38 seconds. So this will be printed. Okay, so this I'm going to return from here, and this should be here, right? So this is available here. Okay, so now we know that we have our function. So everywhere, wherever we have called these log files, wherever we are writing into the log files, we can simply call this function. Okay, we are going to call this function everywhere where we are logging. So I am just going to do one thing. Just before the line, I need to do one thing. I am just going to add like get, okay, not get, give cur timestamp. Okay, so this will be giving me the current timestamp. And then I will do like this, and then I will do double underscore line so that I can print the line as well. Okay. So now let us see what it prints in our file. Okay. So it should be writing something into our file. And now just to see that whether it has been written or not, we need to see where we are doing this. Okay. So let me see. This is the one. Me open this PC. And here I can see where I have put that. In the C drive itself, I think I placed that because where I was putting the log, let me see. This file is like, yeah, here, C service log. So let me, so here is the, okay, it's too much. This PC, and here I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to search for it. So this is the log file. So if you open it, the old messages have been written here, right? Like from line number, every line number it was printing, right? So I'm just going to remove all this so that I can get a fresh log. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me call it. And just after this, I want to close it because I don't want to run beyond this. Just for the demo purpose, I am giving this. So that's why I will just stop from here so that my file will get closed and it will write into the file. Because if you don't call this close, then buffer will not be flushed. You need to flush the buffer, right? It may be that buffer will not be flushed immediately. So we are forcing the buffer to flush here so that we can immediately see what has been written into the file. I hope you are aware about this concept, the buffering, right? If you are writing something to a file, then if you think that this will be written immediately to your file, then it may not be the true thing to understand, true thing to assume, because there is a buffer between the program and the hard disk. So that buffer is flushed after some time, after some limit, based on the how the operating system or how the our compiler or linker has set our operating system is going to manage it, right? How the libraries has been written to perform that. So that it depends on that, but we want it to forcefully print. So that is why I have called like close here. Now let us run it and let us see what happens. I have got the current timestamp and I have closed it. So if I immediately stop my file, then if I come here, let me remove this now so that accidentally I should not leave it here. And then if I go to the service log and if I open it, then you will be able to see a new log. Okay, so this one from 35, why this has been like this? Okay, let me again correct it. Maybe I need to. Oh, basically this function, this particular variable is a cur time variable, which is the local variable inside this function. I hope most of you might have got the error, got the problem here, because this cur time variable is my local variable inside this function. And we know that once you get out from this function, then this local variable, this s time buff will be, just removed from the memory. And since it is nowhere available, so it will, when it will print it, it will not be getting that particular value, because this variable is no more available in the memory, right? So we need to simply, before printing, we need to here just not return s time buff. We need to return some pointer, which should be some kind of pointer. It's like, okay, so every time a new pointer will be created, that's another problem. Okay, oh, let me do one thing. Mm, S time buff is not the correct thing to do. So I need to do one thing. Let me see what we can do here. Get cur time, give cur timestamp. Okay. So here I can do char const char asterisk st is equal to, okay, as of now we can do like new char, and what will be the size? It will be 20, maybe 30, right? We are putting it 30. So I have done the dynamic memory allocation, and after that I will do like um, sprintf. So here I can put like st, and then I can put like okay, not this. You can simply use strcpy. Strcpy. You can put like st, and then the source. The source is s time buff. Now we can do this thing, and now I will return st. I will return st from here. Okay. So now I need to compile it, and now I need to see what happens. It is asking me to use strcpy underscore s, so make him happy. We are using like strcpy underscore s, so you can find like what is the destination. The destination is st, and the source is s time buff. So now if I run it, let me see what kind of error it is giving me. Does not take two arguments. Why? Let me see what happens. So it is like char ampersand address of destination. Okay. Does not take two arguments. What does it mean? Okay. Okay. So it's like st, and then it should be bytes. So there are 30 bytes, 26 bytes we want to consider only, and then the source is s time buff. Okay, now let us see what happens. And then we are returning the st. But since we are doing new buff here, so after doing this, I must say that we need to delete this timestamp. Okay, this particular variable we must need to delete, because this is a pointer variable. Okay, so just to see like how we can do it, we can simply do give current timestamp. Rather than calling like it, I should say const char asterisk s time is equal to give cur timestamp. So this will be the one. And then I can do like s time. I can print it here. remove it, and then I can do another thing. I can do delete S time. Okay, so S time has been deleted now. So that is how you can keep deleting the memory as well. So before every logging, you need to add these two lines. Okay, so let us see what will happen now. So let me run it. Step over, and then okay, I just need to do one thing. I was just wanted to see what is happening here. So oh, log file dot close. So this close I have called, and now I will run it. And now let us see what happens. Okay, now let me stop it and let us see in our logging. This is service log. Let's see what it has printed. Okay, now you can see Saturday, September 21, and then it has been printed on new line because of my mistake, because I have done one mistake here. I have added, ENDL. This has been added here. Okay, this should not have been given like this. Okay, no worries, but not sure why it has given me into the new line. It should not have given in the new line. It should be given like this. Okay, so we'll see that why it happened, but I think there is some mistake that I have done probably due to which it has been doing this. So let me just remove this, just remove this complete thing, and then let us see if I run it like this, what will happen. Let me stop it and let us see. Let us go to the, yeah, this is printing something like this. I think this complete, this is string. Saturday, September 21, this one is itself like giving a new line character, feeding a new line character. Okay. So let us see what we can do. So this is feeding a new line character. So here we can do something like what is the backspace? I think you can add the backspace here. So backspace can be added before the line, right? So that backspace we need to see how we can add. Okay, so there is something like new line added here. So if we remove that new line, then in that case it will be in the single line. But anyways, you know that how we can add the single line statement. Now how we can add the log with the timestamps. So I will just do one thing, that I will just commit this code uh, into the repository, and I have already shared the repository URL with you. So you can just update your code locally. That is a public repository. You can update that. And after that, you will find some piece of code which will be correct one, which will be giving all the logging in one single line. Okay. So just not to keep this video too long, I will say that I will just update everywhere like this as well, and this as well. Everywhere where I have added the log, I will just simply add these loggings, okay, logging statements, and then I will just simply push it to the code. So I hope you might have understood this, and with this I would like to say have a nice day and bye bye. And you might have enjoyed this video, I think, because you are learning those things which are really implemented and which are practiced and followed in on the live in the live projects. So be with me and you will see lot many things we will learn here. Thank you. Have a nice day.